Today, we're going to answer a couple of questions that we get all the time, and it's why don't we filter, why don't we use sulfites, and why don't we use sorbates? Okay, I did a lot of research on this, and here's what I found out. That the research is overwhelmingly positive towards the way we do things, just so you know, and I didn't find anything contradicting what I'm about to tell you. So everything here is factual. I'm actually going to post all of my research and the links to it on our blog as a companion article to this video, so that way you can go and check it out for yourself. I have 5 different excerpts here, but it's a lot to read, so I decided at the last minute that maybe it's a better idea to not read 3 full pages to you guys. And instead, I'm going to break this down into 3 simple parts. Okay, the first part is don't rack too early. Now, we talk about this in a video. The real reason is there's a substance called acetaldehyde. If I'm saying that wrong, I apologize, but it's a fermentation byproduct that increases intestinal permeability and makes you feel hungover. Okay, so this could be the reason why a lot of people say, when I drink homebrew, I don't feel hungover, but when I drink a commercial product, I get hungover. That could be why. Essentially, during the final steps of fermentation, yeast use acetaldehyde as fuel, and then there's bacteria that break it down. So it has no effect anymore, but only if you let it finish fermentation fully. That's why we always are big promoters of wait until it's done, take a reading, wait a week, take another reading. If that reading doesn't change, now it's done. That means fermentation's complete. Acetaldehyde has been negated. It's not there anymore. So that's the first part. Number 2, don't filter. And here's why. Commercial wineries need that sparkling, polished product, okay? We're homebrewers. We can do it however we want. We already know that a little bit of cloudiness doesn't actually hurt your flavor, and as much as I don't like to have sediment in the bottom of my bottle, you can just rack a couple of times and get rid of that. Siphoning will take care of it. If you filter, you're not only removing some flavors from your brew, which that's filtering. Filtering takes out things, good and bad. And speaking of good, it takes out what's called probiotics, which are, your gut flora, things like that you need. Your body needs these things to be healthy, okay? So by removing all those, you're taking out what makes homebrew and wine good for you. Instead, just making a kind of a dead product. It might taste good, it might look really pretty, but you're lacking all of the essential stuff that your body kind of needs. So filtering is really a horrible thing to do to your wine. You're basically killing it. You're taking all the good stuff out and not putting anything back in. You're even taking out some flavor. So why filter at all? It just doesn't make sense to me. Siphoning works. You might have to do it a couple times, but it's okay. We do it all the time and it works wonderfully. The third part is don't add sulfites and sorbates to your brews. A lot of people will tell you that you have to use these things to stabilize your brew. While they are both preservatives and will indeed stabilize wine, cider, and meads, they're simply not necessary for a home brewer. Commercial wineries do it because they need to get their product to the store faster. They might have, various temperature changes that it goes through being stored on a truck while it travels across the country. All kinds of issues that they have we don't have as homebrewers. So there's just no reason for us to do some of these things. Now let me add to it. There's 2 ways to stop fermentation, right? The first is by using sulfites and sorbates, and the second is pasteurization. Now, both of them will actually kill all the probiotics in your brew. That's why we say, even with pasteurization, don't do it unless you absolutely need to. You're killing off all the good stuff in there, okay? It could be worth it to make certain types of brews, but it's not always necessary, and a lot of people go overboard with it. But there's a main difference. Pasteurization will kill those probiotics, but using a sorbate or a sulfite is actually adding a preservative to that wine, which means not only does it kill the probiotics in that wine, when you drink that wine, you're now hurting the gut flora already in your body. We already know it's been linked to a lot of diseases and problems. Not really the kind of thing you want to make worse. I have a lot of research here by various doctors and universities, but I'm going to leave that for you guys to see on the web, but there is one that I'd like to read to you, and it's actually from the University of Hawaii. University of Hawaii, Maui College students, and their chemistry lecturer and microbiology and genetics professor and lead researcher, Dr. Sally V. Irwin, published a study on the effects of common food preservatives on beneficial bacteria that are found in fermented foods and the human gut. And here's what they found. The college research found that sulfites in food preservatives killed or inhibited the growth of the good bacteria when tested at levels generally regarded as safe by the FDA. What that means is, at levels that our own government says it's okay to do and is perfectly safe, it is killing your gut flora. It's just not something you really want to have happen. There's so much stuff in our food today, so many preservatives, so many things that are damaging our health. Why would you want to add even more to that? So in summation, let your brew finish out, don't filter it, and don't add stuff to it. Basically, let your brew do its thing, and it's going to be better for you all around than if you add all the stuff and use all kinds of different configurations to try to improve it. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Have a great day, guys.